Everything good?
Yeah, we're chilling.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Get that on camera.
Oh, I don't have the trash.
Get that on camera.
Yeah, it's on camera.
That's it.
That's really napkin?
That's the opening. Cheers, baby. Dude, I didn't even... All right. Let's get this show on the road. Cool.
Yeah, funny. I like that.
Go crazy.
Dude, he knows how to talk in the podcast.
You
Like
need motivation, just
Yeah, you need some liquid courage. But
liquid death.
welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the George.Daniel Podcast. I am your host, George.Daniel. Before we get to our lovely guest today, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Liquid Death. You can go get them at www.liquiddeath.com or any convenience store. But yeah, I also, real quick, boys, we hit 100 plus subs on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So
Cheers
cheers,
to
little
that.
cheers to that. Thank you, everyone. Whew. Fuck my life. But
Starting to taste sweet.
yeah, Matt, how you feeling? 100 subs. We in this,
I'm good. Made a little mess over here. But nah, yeah, it's fucking dope, dude.
dude.
100 subs.
100 subs. We're in triple digits. Next goal is 1,000. So everyone
Big jump.
you know, everyone sub. We really appreciate it. We love you guys. All the episodes have been doing really well. The last one, we hit 200 already.
Yeah.
With Olivia, so that was really cool.
Olivia's
the one with
blew
Sandra and Wei is pushing right now. So I appreciate everything. You guys are awesome. Thank you. But yeah, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Fernando, but I go by Fernsure.
This
Yeah.
is Napa, aka Nathan.
Idnas.
Cool. So yeah, so this episode is gonna be really cool because this is the first time where I have people who I'm gonna on a lineup with on the podcast. We're talking about the show that's gonna happen on the 29th in San Jose at nightclub. It's Portuguese for night. That's all I know. It's Noite. So if you guys want to pull up, let me know. I have like another guest list spot, and or just come support us. Don't be a bitch.
I also heard he has a 20% off discount code.
You heard it here first. But yeah, no, I appreciate everything for you guys coming out, but also I want to get to know you guys a little bit more. You know, you guys. I've seen you guys' names pop up more and more. Also because we started following each other very recently. But can you guys kind of do? Someone want to start and kind of give me either a little background or a little story, their testimony?
Sure. Like, so Fernando, that's my name. I go by Fernsure. I've been DJing since 2017. I've been mixing like all kinds of music, mostly like house, techno. Was really into like a lot of trance growing up. And growing up, like I had an older sister who like was like really into all kinds of music. She'll listen to like Postal Service, Calle 13. She'll listen to like all these types of genres, and she's like the one that like got me into music for sure growing up.
Is she older?
Yeah, she's 8 years older than me. She's 36. Shout out Andrea. Just Kitchen, if you guys haven't checked it out, she does like bakery goods and stuff. So
Cool.
like freeze dried candies, toffee.
Fuck it.
But yeah, she's the one that really got me into like music growing up, because like she'll be bumping music super loud in her room. My parents will always tell her to turn this shit down, like, because they don't like any of the music that she plays. You know, it's kind of crazy for them. Like,
So you're
But-
28, right?
yeah.
So you grew up listening. So you really like grew up with like the Skrillex, the 4Bs, the Wax
Yeah,
Motifs,
yeah.
AC Slaters of the
Yeah.
world. You know, like that crowd. That's really cool. And your sister brought
A lot of that
all
music
it.
inspiration
Yeah.
for me, for sure. You know, like but I mean, I did venture off into all sorts of genres, like really like I said, I was into like trance, house music. I listened to like Dirty South, John Dahlback back in the day, and then in high school, so like was when I really like started getting more into like the music. I started listening to like the Chainsmokers, but like the indie pop remixes. I don't know if you guys ever heard of any of those. I remember playing like Black Ops Zombies with my cousin one day, and then like as we were playing Black Ops, like his friend Christian, he just like ends up playing like Afrojack Bang Duck. I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh man, it's a fire track. I'm like, dude, I love this track, especially when you're fucking killing a shit ton of zombies and like that song slaps. I'm like, after I heard that song, like, you know, you just put in Pandora back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you your fucking recommendations. And like with that, like I started venturing off, like listening to more and more music. Then I went to EDC for my first time in 2014. I was like super excited, just turned 18. Super excited for it. You know, I was in a room with like 12 people because back then I didn't have shit money. So like,
I mean, yeah, you're 18 going to Vegas, you know, like even without the alcohol that you can buy, like it's still mad expensive.
you're in a room with 12 people. And I was only like not even that big, but still like I don't give a fuck. I'm there for the fucking
I mean, you're not gonna
festival.
sleep. Let's be real. You're not sleeping. So yeah, that's awesome. That's hella sick. And then so you went to EDC. Did you go to any other festivals before turning 21?
Hard Summer.
Hard Summer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I went to Hard Summer. Did you went to Pomona and then the one at
Fontana.
Fontana.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 2016. I'm kind of bad with dates, you know, but
Cool.
I believe it was 2016. Like that year, I like got introduced to San Holo. I think it was at the Green Tent, Pink Tent. Yeah, I'm like, fuck, he was playing like a bunch of bangers, man.
Bangers, yeah.
Like, man, dude, like his music selection was sick, and
Yeah.
I really got into it. And I mean, I really got inspired too. You know, like from all these festivals, I always wanted to mix. So I ended up getting an SB2. I started mixing off of that. Well, actually, my friend got it. Gabe, shout out Shadow Play. He got the SB2. We were mixing off of that for like the longest time, and we upgraded our shit, of course. But yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
yeah.
That's awesome. And then how did you get your start in all of this?
So for me, you know how this just started like this is how it started. You know how Mexican families do, like for Santa Claus they do Reyes Magos.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom gifted a mixer. I don't even remember which one to my brother, and he started mixing, and I was like little. I was like probably like 13 years old, and I would be curious, so I would go and touch it, like move around the buttons and everything.
Yeah.
And he would come back and he would be like, "Hey, like who moved this?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then over time, I started to like actually he would let me borrow it. I was like more responsible. I started to actually like start playing with it, and I started to like it. And then I think when I was 16, a sophomore in high school, they took me to Coachella.
Oh shit.
And then I saw, dude, I was in high school, so I was like, I'm the shit.
Yeah. I mean, no, that's definitely in high school. That's definitely a fucking badge of honor, dude. Like, what the fuck? That's like a high school girl dating like a college guy, you know?
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
it's just like,
Flex.
oh, my
It's
boyfriend's
one
coming to pick
flex.
me up, you know, like that shit. Like, you as a dude, like that would be your flex, right? It's like, well, I've been to Vegas, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I came back the Monday after, and you know how you have the
wristband?
I kept it on.
Dude, I
walked
would have
in and
kept
I was
that
like-
shit on all year. I would have just been walking around. Like, no teacher can say shit. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Anyone who knows, if you went to high school and you went to a festival, you kept that thing on for
Yeah.
at least a month.
Yeah. All the fucking candies that you would get too,
Shower
you know?
with it, like,
Yeah.
this is me now.
No, literally in high school for real, like this whole like EDM world like became a personality.
Yes.
You know, because they went from like being like a skater to a punk to like whatever to like that swag era, and then like now it's like all that like EDM shit, which is really cool. And yeah, it was like it that experience of like being young, but also experiencing shit that you technically shouldn't be
Yeah.
was so cool. So that's awesome that you had that experience, especially EDC. That's fucking huge.
Yeah, it was Coachella. It was Coachella.
Oh, Coachella.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
So I went, and then after, during Coachella, you mentioned the Chainsmokers. I saw the Chainsmokers, and then Kashmir. Jack U when it was Skrillex. And,
Yeah. And Diplo.
Yeah. I saw them, and then like
Dude, they need
time-
to run it back, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, right now
Yeah.
Skrillex is on a fucking on a
Album 3.
tear right now, dude. But Napa, how'd you get your start? How?
Well, I'm only 23. I just kind of got out of school for music. Studied that for about 2 years at West Valley
Okay.
over here in Saratoga. Learned a lot about like music production, recording arts, producing, and a little bit about the music business. Kind of just ran with that knowledge that I had from learning from there, and in the scene right now, but just kind of going slow, pushing as much as I can, you know, from the opportunities that we're getting, and trying to put as many people on the platform, and you know, just really showing like love to everyone that is ready to work and solid and keep it going. But basically, my whole life has breadcrumbs of, you know, me wanting to perform and hosting events and going to live shows. And, you know, like, I mean, I think from my start of where EDM, like I fell in love with EDM, it's probably somewhere around like 2010.
Okay.
I remember just like so distinctly, like,
You're like in 8th grade.
yeah, like I think Skrillex and something like Drake had just dropped like the Take Care album.
Okay.
And then Skrillex, Scary Monsters and Nice Spirits.
Right,
Those were the
right.
first albums
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I ever bought. And those
Damn.
two albums, like
Those
literally went to
are-
the mall,
Yeah.
got those two. And that's kind of like the beginning of like my love for like music as far as like hip hop and EDM, you know?
Right.
I mean, around that time, like we had like people like Nero, Benny Benassi dropping bangers, you know, like also like a lot of great rap and just a lot of great music in that genre or in that era. So I was always, you know, seduced by like all of the great performers and artists and just great songs that were coming out, and just always thought like what it would be like to like, you know, be that person producing
Right.
that stuff and just being, you know, out like just being naturally creative and such like a, you know, idol for people to look up to. So
Right. Yeah. Growing up, I definitely I resonate a lot with like the whole like seeing someone do it and being like, I think I can do that, right?
get
You know?
the motivation.
Yeah, you know, it's just like, well, like, oh, this guy from Canada or this guy from blah blah blah. You know, it's like, if he can do it and take over the world, then like, why can't I? You know, and it's just like, and yes, it's a stupid fucking idea, right? It's like, it's so like one, it's a little egotistical,
Yeah.
but it's also like very just like I don't like.
I know what you mean. Like you're not aware of like what's actually going on.
Right.
You can just see like the front of it. So you're like, I
Yeah,
got
he
it.
was like, I can do that shit.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre because I think about this a lot. I think about like, what if I became a rapper? I was like, I think I could do it, like straight up. And it's like it's some delusional ass fucking thing. But I'm just like, dude, like, it's not that hard, right? Like, I think at the end of the day, as long as I like keep my Twitter, you know, popping or my Instagram popping, I can fucking, you know, do whatever the fuck I want. Which was such a dumb thing to think about, but like. That's the only way you can really get things done is like like that delusional confidence where you think like you're like, no, I am the shit. I am cool.
That delusion, like when I used to listen to house music and like all these tracks, like in high school, like I'd always imagine myself like being on stage, or say if I go to a gym and I'm on the freaking treadmill or whatever, I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm playing in front of a crowd right now.
thousands.
You know, like
you-
you have that dream, you know,
Right.
You have that
It's-
mindset.
It's funny because you mentioned earlier you were like, oh, like I was a bedroom DJ for a long time, and it was like, no, like I completely fucking understand, you know. I mentioned this last episode where like Christian, who's my best friend, he is the one who really introduced me into like DJing. So we would go to his man cave and like DJ, and it would be all the like, you know, all the night based shit and blah 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 mixed with a little bit of like Jersey Club, a lot of like Trippy Turtle, a lot of 4B, Unique, and like just a bunch of people. And like that was my first time where I was just like, oh shit, like I can I think I can do this, right? Like I can set up a playlist. Like we only need 30 songs really for an hour. So like I have 30 songs, you know, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But for y'all, like what was your first experience like being on a lineup? Like how did that feel, and how did you like, who gave like did someone give you that opportunity, or did you ask for that opportunity? Because those are two very important, you know, factors.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I think for me, it was like about 2 years ago. It was kind of like falling into my lap kind of thing. I was just pushing my music as far as like getting into like producing and dropping songs. I had wanted to like perform for a long time. I started in like 2019. So that was like right before Corona. I actually had a Newmark mix track too. I'm sure many people started on the Newmark as well.
Right.
So if you know that board, like I had like a Google Chrome laptop with it, and I just had like a shitty, you know, DJ service or software with it. So
Dude, I have DJ Pro. Like
Yeah.
DJ Pro 2 is what I like, the software that I used, and yeah, literally like that connected me with my SoundCloud, my Spotify, and my music library.
Nice.
So I was able to like, before I purchase a song, I can practice with it. Of
course.
you know. So like yeah, that's super interesting. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I can't remember what the exact one was, but it was something like that where it was integrated with SoundCloud, and you can like play the songs that you like hadn't downloaded.
Even if it was virtual DJ, who gives
Yeah,
a fuck, right? You know.
it might have been,
Yeah, you know, like
it might have been
virtual
that one,
DJ
yeah.
is the shit. Like back in the
everybody
day,
was
like
like-
back in the day, like
Spotify used to be.
yeah.
Like any track. It was sick.
It's so sick. I mean, you couldn't record your mix, but at the end of the day, like you were like, well, I wasn't gonna publish this anyways because I'm trash, right? Like we're all just practicing,
Yeah.
right?
I think we all started at that point. You know, you're like streaming, or you're like mixing the streaming songs. So when it got to the point where it was like actually like, oh, I want to record a mix,
Right.
Then I think I upgraded to like a better laptop, and then that can actually like withstand Serato. You know, so did that. Got a better mixer.
Did you always start with? Did you always start with DJing like house or EDM music, or did you try DJing any other genre?
So I definitely started DJing like EDM. Like in the beginning, we were just sitting in Corona. Like I said, I had my Newmark, so it was actually like the first time I played in front of people was at the EDC live stream.
Okay.
And we were like, maybe someone came on for an hour that we didn't know, so we were like, oh, let's set up the mixer and play in front of people. So I started mixing like Wax Motive, you know, like a lot of Mala, Chami, you know, like the people that I grew up listening on. So did that for a bit, and then I was like, okay, like I want to do this for more people, you know. So just really went hard at it in Corona, and then got a 1000 SRT.
Okay.
And that's kind of like what changed everything. It's like,
Right.
Then I was like, okay, like I'm ready to like take this seriously, you know.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
Recorded mixes on there. Like in the very beginning, I was like dropping like techno mixes, house mixes, disco, you know, like tech house, bass house. Like I was doing everything, you know.
Right.
But I was just trying to find my groove, really. And then shortly after, you know, I started doing the music production, and I got the gig, and I think it was Salinas or Monterey. One of the old DJs that I used to be connected to, she actually hooked me up with the people that were at a bar over there
Okay.
in Salinas. And it was cool. You know, it's like your first gig, one of those gigs where you just kind of play in front of
You're at a bar.
your family,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a couple of other people. But I'll never forget like how serious I took it in
Yeah.
terms of like I thought it would be like, you know, the
The
craziest
breaking
thing.
point,
Yeah,
right? The
breaking
thing that's
point,
gonna
yeah.
change your life and shit.
Exactly.
Dude,
I think
no, I
we all go
feel
through
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fucking hilarious. That moment where you're like, it's once again, it's that delusional mindset, right? Where you're just constantly just like, fuck yeah, dude. Like once they hear this mix, like it's fucking over. I'm gonna take over. Like I'm gonna be in New York. I'm gonna be in Miami, Detroit. Like fuck all this. Like no, all these other people aren't even gonna remember who. Like you know, and it's just like that delusional dreamers, you know, mindset. But yeah, I definitely resonate a lot with what you said with like the whole like, oh, like this is my first opportunity, but it's also gonna be, you know, the thing that's gonna fucking launch me to the next level. But you, so you mentioned earlier a little bit that you were also going to school. So how did the schooling affect you with the genres that you're using now when you DJ? Or did it just kind of give you like a hyper focus of like, oh wait, actually this sound is actually what I really like?
Yeah, like, so when I started like going to school for it, I just, of course, like every little stepping stone is like, okay, I'm taking this more and more seriously, you know, like what do I want to be? What kind of sound do I want to have? You know, where do I want to be in the end as far as like, do I want to have a studio? Do I want to be a touring artist? Do I want to be a manager? You know, like what is your path? So it was more just about finding what aligned with what I was doing at the time. So as I was going to school, learning a lot about production, I'm making a lot of good music. I mean, in my eyes, you know, like learning a lot. And people saw that. It was about a year of me stepping back from DJing at like small bars and stuff and just really focusing on producing. So I think that really helped out, like, as far as like,
Oh, this is actually okay.
what people like saw from me. What, like, I wasn't DJing a lot, but I was also like still working.
Right.
And whether people knew I was going to school or not, that was like
Irrelevant at that point.
irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of just realized like who I appreciated as far as like artists, like their sound, like I like wanted to be like them. So like
Right.
a lot of people like Mala, and then like, you know, like John Summit was breaking through at that time. So like, of course, like he's like a huge inspiration to me. So showing a lot of his music actually to my class, like saying like, this is what I want my mixes to sound like. This is what I want to be producing like. So I kind of like, you know, focused my energy towards that aspect. And after a good year, it was time for me to step out back into the scene.
Right.
Picked up some gigs, some open decks, and just some small gigs that kind of like gave me the motivation to just keep going with it, right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of stepped back from producing about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Been pushing DJing, as I think a couple of people can see. I met you, I met him. We're now sitting on the podcast, you know, talking
Right.
about the events that I'm hosting.
This is kind of like a open question for everyone, because what Napa just said kind of like brought me a lot of like, kind of, like a different, like I've never really thought about it like this, where you went to school for production, but you already had this DJ thing going on. But with that said, you also was like, oh, I'm going to like put this DJing thing on the back burner for right now in order for me to really gain knowledge and practice on this other end, right? So my question is, you guys as a total artist, right? Like whoever that is to who you are to yourself, I guess. Do you guys have the confidence in the artistry with who you guys are now? Or are you guys still like trying to pick that up?
Oh no, it's definitely a never-ending goal of finding everything that like totally aligns with you, you know,
Right.
like.
And today is different from tomorrow. It's different from yesterday.
Exactly.
So that's also another thing.
You have to be adaptive.
Right,
as well.
right,
So
right.
Always have an open mind, you know, always be on your toes and make sure like you stay on top of like what you're doing. You know, as far as like, am I focusing on the DJ thing or am I focusing on the production, you know? And like I said, I have stepped back from production, but I'm getting back into it. I mean, me and Shadowplay have worked on stuff. I have whips just in the vault, you know, like, but I'm not ready to release them because I know what it could be as far as like you're saying, like when you see your friends like releasing the music and they're doing it, you know, and that kind of like puts you off of doing it. I've kind of had that mentality where like a lot of great people around us are like producing a lot of great music.
Right.
I'm working on the back end, just trying to find that sound. And when I'm ready to release, I'll kind of like get out there again.
Yeah.
But I'm still working a lot. So
Right. So with you guys, are you comfortable enough to say like what I'm doing right now is what actually like what drives me, you know? Or are you still trying to like figure it out?
Well, for me, I'm like pretty much like Napa. I produce, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to say like a perfectionist, but like as a producer, or like I feel like a lot of people are like me, where like you have something, you're like, oh, it's ready, but you're like, no, I could do better.
Yeah.
So like at the end of the day, like you're not ready, or I don't know. It could be that you like it is ready, but you are like as an artist, you're not ready to like start releasing stuff.
That's dude, you guys are hitting on so many different things that I like haven't like I've been thinking about. But okay, like my thing is just like with this podcast, right? The moment like one fucking little short, one reel, one whatever like kicks off and like this shit blows up, right? Because it's gonna happen and it's gonna fucking happen. But
What do we got to do?
yeah, you know. But like in my head, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I'm like mentally gonna be like, oh shit, like where that ego starts kicking in and we're like, yeah, I am the shit, you know? Or if I'm gonna be like, fuck, dude, like I'm such a loser. Why do people fucking like listen to me? You know, like why are they even interested in all this shit? But that's super interesting. Because I have homies who have shit on like major labels, you know, and all that shit. And even when they have the same doubts, and I'm just like, but you're doing it. Yeah. So like for a person who's not doing it or quote unquote not doing it, I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to think? How am I, you know, like what the fuck? Like, dude, you're like, I had them two here and they were with Space. They're going to be opening up for Space Yacht again, but they opened up for Space Yacht at Beyond Wonderland. Yeah. And it was just like, damn, dude, like
they're killing it. Shout
you guys
out
are
them
at
too.
a fucking real ass festival, real stage, doing real things in front of 1,000 people, you know, like that's insane. Like I can't even picture 1,000 people. To me, 1,000 people is the same as 100 people, you know. Like
it's only motivation, man.
Yeah.
If you look at it in the right way, like that's who we're directly around. Like that's local artists that, just like what he was saying before, like those are people that are around us. Why can't we do the same thing?
Yeah.
We got to get to those points where, you know, we take it as seriously as they do, work on our craft, you know, get better, host great shows, and really push people to like grow a fan base.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think you have a different outlook on a couple things. With the little bit of time that I've known you, you know, you're really into longevity, you know, which is sick. A lot of artists who I talk to sometimes are thinking about their next project, their next show, and that's it. And that's super unique, and you shouldn't stem away from that, because that's gonna be a good thing in the long term, you know.
Appreciate it.
But with that said, with y'all, since our next gig is what, the 29th, right? After or before if that event happens, or how do you guys kind of prep for your sets, or who are you guys? Are you guys going back to back together?
Yeah, we're all going back.
All three of you guys, right? Yeah. So okay. Oh, damn. Okay. So you are the head coordinator for this event, right?
I'm partly coordinating.
So you're
it
the
with
head
it.
coordinator, right? I mean, you can pop your chest, you know, like.
But I do have to shout out JCB and his lovely wife, Ashley, because they're great.
Awesome. They're amazing,
and they're
great people.
Really pushing to organize this event at Noit. And without them, this wouldn't be possible. So
no, they're awesome. I met them.
And they're going by Clips events.
Yeah, I met them pretty recently, like within the last like 2-3 months or so. But yeah,
JCB's doing Meraki in Sacramento. I know he was on the lineup with Lex, and
he's doing, I think, the live stream event.
Yeah,
he's ready to work. Like I had open decks at my show, and he came both times.
Yeah,
and I knew that he was solid.
And what's cool about them is they legit have a family. They have a little one, you know. So it's just like it's cool to be like see someone who's like I need to do this. Like, you know, it's just like it's either gonna be this life of going to work, clocking in all the time, or it's me following my dreams. Now that I have a little one, I need to fucking, you know, put pedal to the metal type shit, which is sick. And like I'm currently in that state where I'm just like I don't want to be a fucking 30-year-old loser. Straight up, you know, like that's where my head is. It's just like I want to be able to say that I tried and I did this shit. You know what I mean? And like that's where I'm at. I just don't want to look back and be like, damn, why am I still depressed? I may be still depressed even with 100,000 subscribers or whatever. But like, you know, like I'm just like I don't want to not like go on another day and not try. Right. Like that doesn't make sense to me. And like seeing them and like, you know, like they were at the We Grooves show maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. And like I was able to talk to them and blah, blah, blah. And then like a week later they were like, hey, we would love to have you on our show at the same club that we were at. And I was like, oh dude, hell yeah. For you guys, I'll do anything. Like, cause you guys are fucking real ass people who are just there to support and just be, you know, like part of the scene, be part of the community and really be.
Yeah. So, you know how you're touching on that We Groove? I was there too.
Oh,
and
okay.
You know, remember I told you guys, before it started, I told you guys, like people come up to me and they go like, oh, are you IDNAS? And that was them. That's how I met them.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
dope.
they're like, I love your stuff. And I was like, oh.
Hell yeah. And then, okay, well, before we move on, we're all Hispanic here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, dope. Dude, hell yeah. Shout out San Jose. We out here. Let's get it. You know, East Bay or South Bay. Let's go. But yeah, okay. Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I love the fact. Okay, I've been a part of the scene since I was 21 and I'm 26, so that's 5 years. When I first started, I didn't know too many people first off, so like that's probably a thing, but also I didn't know that many like Hispanics in the industry. There was definitely sprinkled around, but there wasn't like, you know, like a force trying to get us all together. Now that I feel that Rooftops, right, with Dez, Maya, and Andres is doing, and then what We Grooves is doing out here in San Jose, it's bringing such a community. It's Latin house, and like I don't mix Latin house, but it's still just like it's whenever I DJ, it's gonna be Latin house, because I'm Latin, you know. So it just brings such a fat community, and it's so sick to be a part of. And it's dope to see. In my eyes, this is also real dumb for me to say, but in my eyes, you guys are kind of like the new generation coming up, you know, even though I'm the new generation. But like, that's what I feel like, right? It's just like, I'm like watching you guys like produce and start your own events and start to DJ, coming from Modesto, right? Because you mentioned that earlier, but I don't think it was on the podcast, but you're from the Central Valley, you moved, and then now you're starting to like build a little bit, right?
Networking is all it is, you know?
Right. So it's kind of crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to see how small but also tight knit we all are, right? Yeah. You know, and I feel like it's easier because it's culture based, right? Yeah. We're all kind of like understand one another. You know, BTS, there's people behind the cameras also. So if you see me looking over there, but like there's like it's really cool, and it's exciting for me to like.
Be a part of it, but also like you guys were really gracious in like putting me in headlining spots, because what am I playing, 11 to 12 or 12 to 1 or something like that? The thing about it is like when it comes to like headlining and like who we book on the shows, like I even struggle like at night, like who's gonna be headlining?
That's such a what time everyone deserves it.
Sure, but like at the same time, like we are trying to build something here, you know, right. We should not feel like above one another. And even though like I do host the events and stuff, sometimes I feel guilty, like even playing like, so for this show, like I was like hesitant about even putting myself on the lineup.
Right.
But I said, you know, if they want to go back to back together and we can take up less time, but we can all like have the same impact, you know, like throw a great show. Right. Then I'm down to do that. And they said yes. So.
No, that's sick. That's sick. Because like with Meraki, right, I tried to not put my name on the lineup when it comes to Meraki stuff.
Does it feel selfish to you?
It's not that, but I don't want, business wise, I am not Meraki. You know what I mean? I am my own individual who just so happens to be a part of this, right? And it's the reason why we started it is for the community. So why are we putting only ourselves on, right? And it's not a shot at other collectives who only put themselves on, because like that's how you're gonna blow up. But my thing is just like, it's community oriented. What we do is we try to bring as many different groups together. Like I mentioned earlier, the music industry is high school, right? You have your punks, you have your popular kids, you have your skaters, you have your soccer crew, you have your basketball guys, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, and like, I feel like as I'm saying that, you guys individually are putting different crews in those slots, right? You can be like, oh, the popular kids are those guys. Oh, are those guys.
That was definitely one of the main goals for the show, is to get a little hint of each collective that I personally like have been supporting and around. And definitely I've reached out to other people that didn't get back to me for the show that we would love to have as well in the future. But like getting all those collectives together is like one of like the most exciting ideas for me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I did that. The only time that the only time I will ever say that like I really did something for the community was when I got Lenny Kaiser to headline our event, but we had 2 stages. And I personally like handpicked every single collective, but was just like, hey, I don't care who the fuck you put on. I just want to be able to say that you guys were a part of this. It's going to be our name presents, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we had people from Gold Block, people from Spicy Boys when they were still a thing. They're now a different name. But yeah, it was just like different people, different crews, crews that are now no longer even a thing, you know? And like, it's just, that to me gets my dick hard. Being able to be like, oh, dude, no, I know the skaters. Oh, I know the basketball guys. Oh, I know the cheerleaders. What if I just kind of bring them all together, you know? It was just like, oh, and it makes sense.
Yeah. It does. But one of the things about that is like having to like actually do the booking.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
It takes a lot of energy, and sometimes it takes a lot of stress as well.
It's mostly stress.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Because with me personally, when it comes down to booking, my thing isn't who we have on, but who we didn't ask. If that makes sense, right? Yeah, so I'm not thinking about the person who I asked. I'm thinking about the 10 other crews, the 20 other DJs who I didn't ask.
Or asking why you didn't ask them.
Right. Yeah. And it's just like, it's not like, don't take it personally. It's just like,
it shouldn't be like that.
Right. But it's also like, hey, if I see you on a fucking lineup 2 weeks earlier, I'm not going to ask you to be on my lineup now, because it's just like, that doesn't make sense for me. Like, why would I book you for something when you have something going on? Yeah. You know, especially when most things back in the day used to be in San Francisco. So everything was in San Francisco. Now, like, I have a show on the 21st, and that's in San Francisco at Hawthorne. Get your tickets. Hit me up for guest list. But also, like a week later, I'm in San Jose. And to me, that's enough distance. I know people from San Francisco aren't going to come to San Jose. I know that.
Always.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but my thing is just like, all right, well, if I get like 1 or 2 people from San Jose to come out to SF, I know when we go back next week, they're going to bring their friends because they're like, oh, well, it's a lot closer. It's my boy, like, blah, 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 you know, and it makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, that's super, that's super interesting. Also, this is the first time that I'm talking to people who are newer in the game, right? Like, in the sense of like,
I'm really new.
Definitely.
To the game,
you know what I mean? Like, in the sense of like, dude, there's
so much to learn.
It just sounds really bad for me to say it out loud, but it's just like, you guys don't know the same people who I know, right? And that's not a lack of trying. That's not a lack of trying. That's a lack of time, right?
Yeah.
Of you guys like being in it, right?
I like to like think like everyone comes to the light. Like, if you like are networking organically and you're like hitting up people, making good connections, you'll find more and more people that are like 50 plus mutuals, 75 plus mutuals,
Right.
100 plus mutuals. And you're like, how do I not know this person?
Right.
But like the world is so big. There's so many people to meet, but also it's so small, like you're saying. And like, it's just only a matter of time where you just like
Exactly.
connect with them.
Yeah, like I met Napa off a mutual friend. Off of Napa, I met Idnas, right? And
Right.
then off of Napa, I met JCB, you know, because we're on the same lineup.
Right.
We came to open decks, and like, it literally is just about going out, you know, like
Yeah.
you literally
Yep.
have to network.
Showing
Yeah,
face.
Show
And
up, you know?
that's the one thing I will say to up and coming artists who want to be a part of the scene. It's, dude, like, when you go to these events, yes, it's so much fun to go to these events and like, you know, meet the bartender, blah, blah, blah. And it's really important to meet the bartender. Don't forget the bartender. Don't
Forget to
forget.
tip them either.
Like for real. Like
Straight up.
like straight up. Like
They know me my name, you know.
well,
It's just
well, not just
there
that,
all the
but
time.
also like at the end of the night, right? The bartender is gonna tell the owner like, don't bring this crew back, because the people that they bring don't tip. The people that they bring don't say hi. The people that they bring, blah blah blah. So it's just like that's a
think about that.
real fucking thing. That's
Really?
a real.
They look at all that stuff,
Fuck.
like how much
Dude,
they
okay.
sell in the bar for sure.
Think about it this way,
They
right?
probably all want me, you know, because I'm always at the fucking bar, always getting a refill.
and like, that's
Hey,
good.
do you
That's
guys want
good.
a tall guy?
That's-
Just bring him next.
Yeah, and that's good. But like my thing is just like you go to Target because you know the clientele that goes to Target. You don't go to Walmart because you know the clientele that goes to Walmart.
Damn, it's true.
That's reality. That's fucking reality, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said that, and I saw all eyes kind of like perk up a little bit and be like, "Oh shit!"
I go to
And it's just
Costco.
like, dude, like that. But that's reality, you know.
I'll
And
retweet that. Retweet.
yeah. But it's just like, dude, like that's that. Like it's also you're 23, right? You're
27, about to be
27.
28. Hey,
You're-
I'm actually gonna have my B-day set at Noit, you know.
Okay. So when on the 29th.
Yeah, back 3 back.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
28,
And then
yeah,
how old
so
are you?
be there.
22.
You were 22. Okay, so that's even better, right? So the two of you guys are so young, like so young in comparison to like the people who are blowing up, right? Because everyone who's blowing up has been in the game for like at least 3 to 4 plus years, who have been either producing, have been DJing, and have been selling tickets, which is the most important part, is selling tickets, is how many people can you get into the door. And like I'm mostly telling you guys this, where I'm just like, you guys need to realize that like, yes, being the guy, being the dude who's producing, being the guy who's like throwing these events is cool and it's awesome for their night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only for that night. And then after that, you got to wake up the next morning hungover and being like, all right, what's next, you know? And you got to like think about it. But also what I always like push is like this whole manager thing. Like think of like longevity, right? It's just like, do you want to be thinking about like, I should be hitting up this booker when I'm 30, you know? Like you're 30 years old. You should have a manager, right? If you're doing this.
It's definitely a thought in my mind at all times. Like
Yeah.
wearing a lot of hats to be doing the things that we want to do is very stressful, you know, like being the promoter, the booker, the graphic designer, the DJ, the artist that
It's
is
a
trying to
lot.
like
It's a lot. You're a lot
produce
like
IDs,
you're a
you
lot
know,
like,
like
how my
the manager
experience
and,
is.
yeah.
My experience has been like, I'm not Doug Dimmadome, right? My hat shouldn't be past the screen. You know what I mean? You get it. like I shouldn't be that, you know? Like that's not who I want to be, but I'll do it because I know it. But just because I know something doesn't mean that I want to do it, right? And like sometimes, and I'm speaking on experience, where sometimes I'm like, I'm a little jaded, and a lot of the times because I'm like, well, why isn't this guy doing it? You know, like we're all in the crew. Why aren't we all doing it? You know, it's just like, well,
I tell these guys too the same thing. I
Yeah.
text them sometimes. I'm like, guys, I see these people doing the same things that we want to do. We can do it. And then
but
like
it's a
like,
we thing. It's not a me thing. You
they're
know what I
like,
mean?
You know,
like,
sometimes they're not feeling it, but
Exactly. No,
this
but
is
if you're
another-
like hosting a show too, you know, like you got people on the line that you're paying or just bringing onto the show for support, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, like those people on the lineup have to promote. Those people on the lineup have to do their part to like
one thing
push the show, you know,
one thing
because the people that show up, if people do show up regardless, you know, like those are the people that are like gonna like take pictures, post it, you know, like
yeah.
you know, promote it as well, you know,
Right.
and eventually it'll get you more
But who
gigs.
don't love a sold out
Everybody
show?
has to do that.
But like the thing, but the fuck, I've been a part of a crew for 5 years. I've seen no one at my shows before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still have to pay the headliner their fee.
yeah,
You know?
no, definitely.
And it's something that people don't talk about, right? Where you're just like, fuck, dude, I just gotta eat these $500, you know? Like I just gotta eat it. You know, my paycheck, you know, for that week, gone. Because I gotta eat it. Because I didn't do something right. Because at the end of the day, if I'm the promoter, it's on me. It's not on the artist. I don't like the fact that people were like, oh, well, it's on the artist constantly. And it's like, no, like you chose them, but now you have to promote it, right? Mm-hmm. That's why your name's the promoter.
Yeah.
It's not the artist,
Definitely.
you know?
I've seen people that aren't even hosts or DJs or artists or even in the scene as much as like we are, but they still promote shows and they sell them out with 400 people at the door ready to buy tickets.
Right.
So I just sometimes
if they could do it,
nudge
we
on
could
these
do it,
guys.
you know?
What are we not doing? You know?
Exactly.
Right.
So
Yeah, but it's also like what I like about you guys is like you guys are trying to do it in a smaller pool, right? San Jose, like South Bay kind of area. We try to attack the city right away, and that was a mistake. It really was, in the sense that we are a small fish in a giant fucking pond versus trying to be the medium-sized fish in a medium-sized pond.
Yeah.
Being like South Bay, East Bay, Sacramento, right? Now that we have Sacramento, dude, we're untouchable. You know, with Meraki and what everything is that Lex is doing. Like, shout out to Lex. She's been fucking killing it out there in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But those are just stepping stones, right, to the ocean that we want to be a part of, right? We want to be that killer whale. We want to be that great white.
Like Modesto, you know, like Modesto's growing, Terralog's growing. I don't know if you ever heard of Open House, but
Yeah.
they've
Of course.
been having huge shows,
Right.
like monthly, you know, like
Yeah. But it's like the thing is like
it's growing, you know, like they're bringing a ton of
everyone's
DJs.
just got to remember
Everybody's
we're at the
trying to
beginning,
network.
man.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're trying to push it hard, but it's like we're
this
at the
is a
beginning,
completely
man.
different genre, right?
There's
so
a
like
market
patient.
everywhere.
so you guys know like T Grizzly, right? The
course.
rapper, right?
First day out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, exactly. So like he brought Memphis back on the map, right? But Memphis has been a thing since the 90s. And like that style, that rap, that like lingo has always been a thing. But because someone blew up a small market, they became bigger than the market. And brought them up to like superstardom.
Memphis
Right.
rap is awesome, and I just have something to say about that
Yeah.
as far as like T Grizzly and Memphis being in the rap scene. What I kind of grew up on all of high school was, I think many people know Xavier Wolf, and he's super underground in the SoundCloud scene. And I went to it's my favorite rapper. It's like over 11 shows now.
Yeah.
And he's put on for Memphis a lot, you know. So I just want to say that, like,
Yeah. But even
there's a difference between the underground and the mainstream, you know.
For sure. But as a promoter, right, you understand the difference between the Regency and the Bill Graham, right?
Of course. And I've seen Xavier Wolf at the Regency, and I have not seen him at the Bill Graham.
That's the reason why I brought those two venues up, right? Like I trust me, I study everything. I don't care if it's rap, if it's pop, if it's fucking EDM. I don't give a fuck. I'm looking at who's booking shows, who's selling out, and who's selling tickets. And then I'm like, oh shit, like, okay, what worked? Because it's not just the sound, it's the name, it's the style, it's the look, it's the marketing, it's all of it, right?
Timing
so I'm just
is a
like,
good factor too.
timing for sure. But at the end of the day, like if you don't have the first four, timing doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, like once you're ready to push the button, like if you don't have the first four, then who gives a fuck?
And that's
right?
out there.
Right. Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah. Because one of my first rap festivals was Rock the Bells. I saw Black Hippie being Kendrick, Absol, J Rock, and fucking Schoolboy Q. I saw them at 5 o'clock one year. The next year, they were headlining. Mm-hmm. That's them being like, go time. We gotta fucking do this shit, right?
It's growth. What year was that?
I think it was 2016 to 2017.
That's right about.
When they like really, or maybe it might have even been 15 to 16.
Like 14 to 15.
Or honestly, even even that. I don't know. I have the flyers on my Facebook. That's how old it is, right? On my Facebook, you know. But yeah, those are all like, those are all things that I think about, and I know I'm a little weird. I know that. But yeah, it's just like, it's very, very clear to me that it's just like, it's not just like your artistry. I don't care how good you are. You can be dead mouse, but at the end of the day, if you don't have your helmet, I don't give a fuck who you are. Mm-hmm. And that's the reality, right? If you don't have your aesthetic of all the whole performance of you being in a cube, or you know, or you like having the production side of everything, like, you know, like
people showing up for your certain sound,
for sure. But what
is your thing? You
but
know?
A lot of the times, if we're 100% honest, the people who are in the crowd aren't there for a sound; they're there for an aesthetic.
Yeah, and an experience for sure.
Exactly.
Oh, so something I want to point out is like what you're saying right now is before I made my logo. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like my face in a little cartoon. Before that, it was like kind of like nobody knew who like at all what it was, and now like people know, or like when they stop me and they're like, "Oh, are you IDNAS?" It's not because of the music I play or nothing, and I know it. But it's
his name is Idnas.
Right.
But it's because of the little picture, the little sticker I have.
Yeah.
Like this sticker, people know me because of this. Not even because of the music.
That's marketing.
Exactly.
That's marketing.
Yeah.
You need that 360 mindset, which was something that I was talking about with Olivia, which is like, it's that 360 mindset where it's just like, it's not just your sound and what you're doing for that hour. It's what you did after and before. Yep. That matters more, because then people are going to be like, oh shit, like I should hit that follow button. You know, and like I should want to know this person because they give a fuck about everything, right? Just like their day-to-day life, you know, all that shit matters. You know, like I posted a picture today with this bottle celebrating our 100th fucking subscriber. You know, it's only 100, but at the end of the day, if you're the first 100, you feel fucking like I'm a part of something, you know? Sure. And like, yes, you are a part of something that's bigger than me, bigger than you, bigger than this community, because it's going to be bigger than all of whatever the fuck I even imagine. And that's scary for me, but also like really gratifying to know that like we're doing something that we don't even know the real impact of. Yeah. And like, yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, this is also dude, this has really been like a weird like therapy session for myself. like talking about all this shit. Like, this is all shit that like I've only really talked to people who are like a little bit like a step or two ahead of me, and like not to negate what you guys are doing at all. It's more so just be like, oh, you guys have met me at a different stage than all the other people, right? You guys met me at 1,000+ followers. You guys didn't meet me when I was at 600, you know? And it's different. It
I
is.
met you off of YouTube, so
Right, which is crazy. You guys met me off of YouTube. I started YouTube last year, you know? Like, that's fucking crazy to me. And, like, super
like how many
cool.
followers? Like 100. So like
Yeah,
you
we're
know,
like,
I
yeah,
met
like,
you at the beginning. So
yeah, that's crazy to me because this is the newest stage of who I've become.
yeah,
Um,
it's huge.
and yeah, but it's still fucking like baffling, you know, to know that like I feel like I met everyone, but I'm constantly meeting newer and newer people, right? And it's just like, dude, like this shit doesn't stop. Like as long as I'm a part of it, there's gonna be new people. There's gonna be older people who are gonna be like, who the fuck is this kid? You know?
Yeah.
And like I'm always gonna be that kid in my eyes. But yeah, like excuse me. For you guys, do you guys at this point of your like artistry, I guess, do you guys feel like newbies in the game, or do you guys feel like comparative to the people who you guys know, do you guys feel like you guys are like vets?
Well, compared to the people that I know, I feel like a newbie, honestly. Although I've been doing this since like 2017, you know, making mixes and stuff. I used to post on SoundCloud as In Too Deep. I used to make like a lot of remixes inspired by like the DJs that I would listen to at the time, you know, like Lane 8, like the Chainsmokers, a bunch of techno music, you know. And then like it was until I had my first shot at a real gig, you know, instead of being a bedroom DJ, that I was actually able to perform in front of a crowd. Shout out Zach Black because of that. That wasn't until like I decided like, you know, I need to venture off, find my new sound, you know, because what I'm playing right now isn't appealing to everyone. You kind of need to like switch it up. It's kind of like open format, you know, like you need to see what the crowd is vibing with. So like tech house is a big thing right now. So still a big thing. I don't think it's dying down. Been playing a lot of tech house, a lot of techno lately. And as I'm playing that, like, you know, like I feel a vibe. I feel like it's growing. So like I continue to do that on. And I love it. I love playing for people. I love being in front of a crowd. I love vibes. I like to see people dancing. It just makes me feel so happy, you know? Like, honestly, like, just seeing even one person vibing to your music is, like, a really big thing to me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Like, like, I can't tell you what that feels like to me, like, but I can't describe it. But, like, I've thrown my own shows, too, like, at reservoirs and stuff like that. But, like, being on a lineup with, other DJs and seeing a crowd pull up and actually dancing to your music is like a really gratifying feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I had plenty of these, but shout out Corona.
Dude, hey, be a sponsor, dude. Be a sponsor. No.
Having that feeling is like so great, you know.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, like you were saying, like how do I feel compared to like bigger DJs? Like I'm getting there, you know. Like I'm doing my own sound. I'm pushing it, you know. I'm marketing. I'm promoting. I'm doing everything that I can to get up there with them. But
right.
You know,
and
like,
I will say, someone who's been in the scene for 5 years, right? Which is insane that's longer than you're in high school. Like, it's insane to say out loud, and I haven't really said that out loud. It's gratifying, sure, but I'm just like, fuck, dude, like, I'm 5 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still a child. And it's just like, me personally, like, I didn't get my, like, oh, like, I can be something before I knew I was funny. Like, I'm funny, and then I got, like, laughs from the other kids, you know? And then that was the first time where I'm like, oh, like, I'm bigger than just like myself or like my crew that I hang out with on the day to day. And like that was something that like helped me propel this idea of like, oh, I can be an artist. I can be like, I'm okay with like someone taking my joke out of context or my words out of context and like using that for their own whatever the fuck, you know? And yeah, it's like, it's cool. but also like kind of scary, you know, where you're just like, oh shit, like you as an artist, you have to realize that you're just a color, right? And someone else's fucking paint, like on someone else's like paintbrush or playlist or whatever the fuck. So for you guys, how do you guys kind of manage, or do you guys ever think about that being that like, oh, I'm not someone's everything, but I'm someone's something? Or have you guys ever thought about that?
Yeah, no, as a collective, I feel like we play a similar sound, right? And
What is that sound? What would you consider your sound?
I said we play like tech house, right?
I was just thinking about this earlier. Like, we do have very similar sounds,
Which
but
is
we're
why
all
we're doing the
unique in our own
B3B.
way.
Right. Someone's a little darker. Someone's
Like,
a little more techno. Someone's a
He's
little harder.
bit darker. I like to like bring the crowd up, like good feeling stuff. You know, like
I feel like
maybe,
you're
a
more
little
like
bit upbeat.
vocals,
Oh,
edits, and stuff like that. Yeah,
Vocals. I sometimes have trouble like having too much vocals in my sets, and I'm like, okay, I need to tone down a little
Vocals
bit.
are good. Vocals are good. Though.
No, vocals are great.
Yeah.
This guy right here, he's just like kind of like has the Latin thing on deck. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like
Surprises me
that's-
every single time.
like
bro.
like he was saying, like it's a big thing right now, you know, to like have a strong like Latin DJ.
Yeah,
and
for
he
sure.
fits perfectly within our two vibes, but also he's that. You
Yeah.
know, so it's like it's just perfect in my eyes to like
That's
play
cool.
with these guys.
Oh, I mean,
He's
I
like
mean,
a sponge. He takes everything he sees, you know, and he finds his way to like make it his own style too.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And I would love
I'm
to
flattered,
hear.
I'm flattered.
I would love to hear
I'm
your
flattered.
interpretation of who you are.
For me, I don't know. I don't know. They just threw a lot at me, but
He's out here
Yeah.
blushing and shit. You know, he's like, well, okay, like thanks, guys.
You're a good DJ, bro.
Yeah,
You're a good
yeah,
cheers.
DJ.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
cheers.
Hey, cheers, 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 cheers.
that. Oh. Well, yeah. For me, like he says, I take like I'm like a sponge. I try to take like what I like the most, but so yeah, I know as being a DJ, people or like DJs try to please the crowd, right?
Right.
For me, I do take that into account, but at the end of the day, like I do it because I love it, so I want to be happy. So
Doing
I
it.
play,
Yeah.
I play a little bit. I put a little bit of my like.
Right.
for
Yeah,
me.
for sure,
So I play Linehouse, not because it's big right now. It is big right now.
for sure.
Shout out them too, because I love them too.
Shout out them too,
I love
dude.
them
The
too.
boys, bump
Yeah.
and grind. Let's get it.
They're an inspiration, 100%. But like I try to do things that I love, like play that type of music because while I'm playing it, I'm enjoying it.
Right.
And I think that's very important. If you're a DJ, make sure you play things that you love, 100%.
I did it.
You broke it. You broke her
I
alien.
did exactly
You
what
broke
I
her
said
alien.
I
You
was
broke her
trying to
alien.
do.
Little pin. Then
Well,
Sorry about that.
with that said, I'm gonna take a bathroom break real quick. I'm gonna take a bathroom break.
I need to take a
we'll
break,
fix
too.
that.
is that
And with that said, like I know how I want to experience something, right?
Yeah.
The same way that when I DJ, I know how I want to listen to something.
Yeah.
It may not always
Crazy.
work, right? Because the
took
way
my
that
vape.
I want to do things isn't the way that everyone
Yep.
can agree upon.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's a thing. The same way that like when we throw our own events, we build a lineup of the people who we want to listen to. But at the end of the day, we aren't the only people in the crowd.
But at the end of the day, after that, you will never. I feel like as a bro, you will never like get 100%. Like you will never like please everyone in the crowd. You
For
can't.
sure,
You
for
can't.
sure.
'Cause
And
it's so-
also, my favorite thing, fuck you guys, is splitting the room 50-50 and being like, that guy's wrong. And then the other people being like, oh, he kind of has a point though. You know, like that's my favorite thing is I don't need everyone to like me. I don't want everyone to like me. And that sounds wrong saying out loud, but also that means that you're listening. Right? In my head, in my dumb brain, I'm like, oh, okay, well, if you didn't like it, then you heard it.
Do you know how many fucking requests I've had, bro? Like that means whenever I hear a request, that means somebody doesn't like my shit. You know, and that fucking impactful to me.
dude,
I've heard,
honestly-
play Bad Bunny or some shit.
Right,
you know?
right, right.
I'm like, fuck.
Dude, that's actually so okay. That's so
Everybody have that.
interesting. That's so interesting that you said that because
like you're never gonna please everybody, but as long as you stay true to yourself and you play what the fuck you like to play,
right.
And if as long as you see some people vibing, then you know you got it. You know,
Because
like,
at the end of the day,
just gotta stay confident.
we all have different names as artists, right? So our artist is an extension of who we are. It isn't who we are on our day-to-day when we go to work, when we clock in, when we talk to our coworkers, whatever the fuck, right? But that artist is almost the person who we want to be.
Yeah.
Right? That's why artists are artists. It's like, we're trying to show you who I really want to be. I really want to be a good guy. I really want to be a person of the community. I really want to like bring people together.
show you my sound.
Yeah, or the opposite. Whether you do like punk or you're part of a rock band like Snack, right? Like Snack, he's part of a rock band and his whole thing is just like, yes, I want to bring people together, but based on one emotion that will make you like just want to rage, you know? And like that makes sense because now they're doing like techno and things like that and like bass driven stuff and like you bring in like Sophie and like MSN song,
He's
you know?
opening up for Dr. Gabba.
Dude,
I'm like,
Snack is
fuck.
killing
He
the
is.
game, right? And Snack
Fucking
is
crazy.
fucking awesome. They're fucking so sick. And like what I love about Snack is how aware they are about their aesthetic, but also their sound, but also who they are as a human, right? And like during when I had Snack on, they were really like they were really gracious because I kept calling them dude, right? But they use different pronouns, you know? So it was just like, but they were really aware of like, I'm learning, right? I'm trying while like in person, right?
but what kind of person would I be if I'd be like, don't fucking call me that? You know, like you're not
for
gonna
sure,
do that either.
for sure. But also like, if they wanted to, it's just like it was like, hey, stop calling like
At the same
hey,
time,
stop like
you know, like
if you didn't want to be like, let's just say you had like 15% Hispanic in you, but you're like, I'm not Hispanic, I'm mostly white. So it's just like, I'm a white guy, you know? It's like, all right, well then just call me white, you know? If that's what if that's what you identify as, right? And like, it was just like, it was working progress during the interview where I'm like, fuck, I need to use they them pronouns. I need to, you know, and like my dumbass head, I was still gonna be like, hey dude, so like blah blah blah. You're like, hey, like he blah, and like it wasn't, you know, like but like now I'm now because of them, I'm really good at being like, all right, well, this is what you want to be called. Like this, I'm gonna call you what the fuck you want. I don't care because it doesn't matter as long as you're true to yourself. Then I know that you're being true to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I
like
get it.
why, like what, like especially with this podcast thing, you're not talking to me. You're not. You're talking to them. You know, like all of them. And so like you're really showcasing yourself while we are having a conversation. So it's just like I'm like, oh, dude, I need to put that in my head where it's just like it's not. I need to learn in order to be able to present them the way that they want to. And it's only fair for me to give them that opportunity, especially when giving an opportunity. Because if I'm giving you something, then I should be allowing you to use it the way that you want to. Whether that be new up and coming DJs or producers or event coordinators or whatever the fuck you want to be called, like that is important, and I shouldn't negate my dumb stupidity or my own like way of talking in order to help you. I'm here to help. I'm not here to, you know, cause more confusion. But yeah, like with that said, with you guys as new artists, how do you guys like, where do you guys see yourself in 5 years?
It's a good question.
And like, have you really ever really thought about that?
Like back in 2017, I didn't imagine myself being here, you know?
For sure. I didn't either, so.
Like, in
There's that,
2017,
you know?
I still imagine myself fucking producing mixes
Right.
at home, you know, and shit. But
Yeah.
I'm glad I had the opportunity, you know? Like, shout out to Zach Black for sure, you know,
Yeah.
for bringing me out to Sacramento. And that's how I met a lot of good people, you know? And by meeting those people, I was able to meet Napa. Napa was able to fucking throw some fucking great shows in San Jose, you know?
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Napa. No, for real, thank
We're
you.
gonna keep doing more,
Yeah,
of
let's
course.
keep
You know.
Yeah,
fucking doing
no,
it,
that's
you
sick.
know?
That's sick, especially in this area in the South Peninsula. There's not a lot of people doing things because the market isn't big enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
It's a myth.
And it's a fucking myth. You know?
Dude,
They're
dude,
running it
if-
in Turlock. And Turlock is way smaller than fucking
for
San
sure.
Jose.
And like my
You
thing,
know?
my thing with that, like my thing with people saying that like San Jose isn't a big market is like, dude, there's 1 million plus people here.
Yeah.
And every weekend there's a bar
If you
sold
have
out with
something
people
we could
waiting
do.
outside.
If you have 3% of a
Yeah.
population in San Jose, you're fucking done, dude. You're next
all you
level
need.
shit.
There's too many people here to just say it's
You know what I
not
mean?
a
And-
market. It's just crazy.
And it's like it's so.
Some
it's-
people don't want to fucking commute to the Bay to go fucking party, you know?
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
They
You know?
want to stay in town.
A lot
Yeah.
of people. A lot of people.
Yeah, and it's
we
like
got the college here too.
But like also, this is like another thing that I've been kind of thinking about, where it's just like I put a lot of emphasis on the promoter, which is super unfair when they're working alongside a club, bar, venue. You know, the venue, bar, or club should be able to do just as much, if not more, for this event. And I've been real pessimistic for the people who are throwing things, which is also maybe why I, as the head of Meraki Bay Area, like we haven't done events. It's just like, well, I don't feel comfortable working with so and so because, well, if I'm doing $200 in ads, they should match it, right?
They should do their part.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not on the DJs because they're the subcontractors. If we're the people who are, you know, if we're Target, if we're Walmart, if we're, you know, you're not going to put it on the employees in order to in order to over promote or over market, because that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's not the sale of a ticket isn't on the employee, right? Because you're going to Target for Target. You're not going there because you know so and so who's the cashier, you know, and like that's
they have a
something
great
that like we need to have the discussion, because like I've even talked about 1015, Halcyon, Midway, Temple, like all these big clubs. And yes, I'm calling them out because now it's just like, oh, I kind of get it. Like it's not on the promoter. He already paid you in confidence, right? In the ability of like, oh, I'm able to sell X amount of tickets. If I'm able to sell X, you should want to double that. So why aren't you doing that? You know, as a club, venue, space, bar. And yeah, like I've had more and more discussions with people who are promoters who are like, dude, but like if F8 were to like, you know, put some ad money in on Facebook or on Instagram, you know, like it would do a lot better, you know. But those are conversations that you can't have because these gatekeepers are gatekeepers, you know? Like
It's not just about like the promoters and the bookers as well, though. So it's like
sure.
the manager of the club wants a certain percentage.
For sure.
Based
But
on who you
but
are,
to me,
you know?
the manager of the club is the club.
Yeah, that's what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that guy who's just like, I expect you to do this, but it's just like, yeah, I can do the bare minimum because that's what I promised. But if you want to over exceed, fucking put $200 is 15 minutes worth of bar time for
Because
you.
the issue with that is that if you're barely meeting the fucking minimum, How the fuck are you gonna pay the DJs that you promised
Right.
to like
And that's what it all comes down to. It's
pay
like
something?
the
you know?
money
Like,
has to come from somewhere. The managers don't want to book people that aren't selling tickets or selling at the bar.
The manager,
That's why
the
all
manager, the
DJs
manager
should
isn't
bring a minimum amount of
the
people.
manager isn't gonna book a collective to do anything who isn't willing to pay the artist. Right? That's the reality of the situation. Where it's just like these people aren't willing to be like, hey, I'll pay for the artist if all the bar revenue is now on me. You know? Like,
Yeah, but they want a percentage of the ticket sales always.
not always, honestly, not
They
always.
should just take the fucking minimum that you promised them, right? Like, so if exactly like if
But
you were
like,
does
to
that
me,
mi-
to me,
where does
right?
that
To me,
minimum come from?
so
you should pay them whatever the fuck you
for
promised them. at the
me right
beginning.
now, I would almost like want to overpay for the venue with zero expectation, and like help from the club in order for the event to over exceed. If that makes sense, you know?
I've paid out of pocket for the DJs, but the booker has never asked me, am I paying the artist? They just asked me for the fee, right?
Yeah.
So like whether the show does good or not, like you're saying, low expectations. I want to make sure we have a great show with great artists and the fees will be paid. And whether we hit that minimum or not, I'll keep my word and I'll just have a great show.
Right.
People will always remember that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about the money or where it goes or if it goes to the manager or whatever. It's like,
Right.
what can we do to like stay in our budget and get as many people as we can to the show?
Right.
So that's kind of like the big thing for me. It's like,
Yeah, because like I was saying earlier, like if you're a homie or if you're someone who I like want to believe in,
Look it up.
you know, like
Yeah.
I will play your fucking show for free,
I've done
promote it
plenty
on
of
this
those,
podcast,
trust me.
do everything in
Wasted
my power.
money on my fucking haircut. Wasted money on the fucking
everything
drive, you
on
know,
gas, on parking,
Yeah,
on
bro,
fucking
like,
like the people who I bring,
No, but
you know.
I do it because I love it too.
That's
At
what
the
I'm
same
saying,
time,
you
you
know?
know, like I can't say like, oh, I'm not gonna do it because you're not gonna fucking pay me. You know, like I'm gonna do it because I love what I'm doing. I love getting in front of a crowd. I love playing music.
Yeah,
But at the same
like
time-
to me, it's always been like this double-edged sword,
Yeah.
where I'm just like I'm constantly always. I want the individual to get what they want out of it, right? Where I'm like, if you're an artist, you should get paid. If you're a promoter, you should get the expectation from the artist. If you're the bar owner, you should get the promise from the promoter. But at the end of the day, if all three of those things aren't working together, then the show isn't going to be the expectation that everyone wants.
Sure.
I think another couple good factors to bring in as far as playing shows to get everyone motivated to put on a great performance is not only money, but the exposure and the enjoyment, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
if those three factors are hitting a certain level for you that it's like this show is good enough to play, then you'll be motivated to put on a great show.
Right.
And that's
Right.
like, I'm trying to find people that are just right in that category of like they are enjoying that they're playing the show, they're getting paid for sure, and whether or not they see it, they're getting some kind of exposure.
Right.
You know?
Well, my thing as a young promoter, I will tell you this. Your expectation, because you're the middle child, right? Because it's the venue and the artist. No one really cares about the promoter.
Yeah.
You're just the event. You're not the vehicle, right? But you're the gas, is what I've noticed. Where it's just like the vehicle is the club, the wheels are the artist, the promoter is the gas. And that's what I've really noticed, where it's just like it doesn't go anywhere without the promoter. It doesn't roll properly without certain artists, and people won't get in if it's not a certain car. You know what I mean?
Damn,
true.
that's really
So,
good. That's really
like,
good.
and
Damn,
that's
dude.
like that's the reality of it. And that's the first time. Honestly, I said that. I said that
That's
out
good,
loud,
that's
and I
good.
was
Sit
like,
on camera, bro.
dude, I said that out loud, and I was like, dude, like, oh shit, this guy,
good.
like,
Fuck.
you know,
It
like,
all works together.
But like for real, like you need all three in order to get someone in your car.
Yeah.
In order to get people in
get
your
'em moving.
yeah, exactly. And it's like it's just one of those things where like with time you'll understand everything, and I'm barely at the time where I'm like, oh shit, like I kind of see how things are moving, how things get done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's once again not who you, or it's not what you know, but who you know, and like things like that. And it's been real interesting, especially with this podcast, and the more conversations that I have with people who are artists or people who are promoters or people who are managers at these big clubs, like I'm starting to realize like, oh, it really is like a pyramid scheme. And that's what it is. It's, you know, it's like the club, the artist, and the promoter. Without the right three, like the show isn't gonna be
Successful.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
But you need all three in order for it to be successful and be a thing of value. But also a lot of that comes from confidence within one another, right? So if you as an artist can pull at least 15 to 30 people, then I have confidence in you to pay you 100, 150,
Right.
you know,
You're right.
for your rate.
Yeah, but that's tough for like up and coming artists too, you know, because there's a lot of people that don't know up and coming artists, like how they're able to play, how they're able to perform.
For sure.
So like there's times where those up and coming artists, like myself, can't pull that kind of crowd, you
But-
know?
Oh, okay. All right. So as an up and coming artist, right? The difficulty of putting your name out there,
Yeah.
it's only as difficult as the people who you know, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So
It's networking.
I'm really grateful for this podcast and everything that it's like, where I have episode on episode on episode proving that I know these people, I can talk to them, and I can have real conversations. So for people who are promoters or people who are bar owners or club owners or whatever the fuck, they're like, oh, okay, well, I can at least ask him and he can do something for me. Versus a up and coming artist, you're proving yourself 1010%. So you need to show the cool kid at the skate park that you can actually do a kickflip. You can actually do, you know, and you have to prove yourself.
Yep.
In order to get these spots. But that's the difference. That's the difference between, and what I try to do with these podcasts is like, be like, all right, what do you want out of it? Like, you're not everyone's going to be Tony Hawk, but you can be Ryan Sheckler.
Yeah.
You know, like Tony Hawk had the video game, had everything. He still has that, but you can have a shoe. You can have a show. You can be this person.
Yeah.
You know,
Rodriguez.
or you can be Alex Rodriguez and just be known as like a skateboarder. You know, and like, you know, and like that's my point, where it's just like this podcast allows people to be like, no, well, like this is my role. Then this is what I'm really good at, and this is where I'm going to stick myself at. So you can plug and play me wherever the fuck you want. But like that's the point of this, is like, in order to have a real ass conversation, real ass dialogue of like, oh, okay, well, I'm not amazing at booking people, but I'll play the fuck out of my hour-long set and I'll get people there. And like that's the real advantage of this podcast, for anyone who comes on. And future guests and whatever the fuck. But like that's the point of all of this. But with you guys, since you guys are so like new to it, you guys have a really cool opportunity to like kind of figure that out now and choose where the fuck you guys fit in, right?
I found my squad.
Yeah.
These are my guys right here, you know? Like 100%.
And like
love
that's
these
a
guys.
fucking sick part,
Yeah.
you know. It's just like that's the point. It's just like finding your community and being like, oh, dude, I fit in well with these people, and this is what I'm good at, and blah blah blah. But for you guys, where, like I asked like earlier, is just like, where do you guys see yourself in 5 years? I think
Right.
we got yours a little bit.
And yeah.
Yeah, and then for you guys, like, where do you guys see yourself?
I mean, I think for me, like, when I started studying like music in school, and they like gave us like, you know, like homework and stuff, they actually had us write down like 1, 5, and 10-year lessons, and I did so, and it's kind of crazy how powerful writing something down is.
Makes it real.
It makes it like a real
that's
thing
you.
in the
Makes it
world,
real.
and
That's
like,
you.
as far as like the 1 year goals, like I literally wrote down like I want to play more than 10 gigs next year at like some good clubs,
Right.
and things are kind of on track as far as like that 1 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And then like the 5 years is obviously like being a touring artist, you know, having a nice discography of reputable music that people like listen to, and just kind of having like a team around me, great network as well with these guys, and yeah, like 10 plus years. That's like all like own your own studio, you know, like do your own like events at like your own venues, and like, you know, stuff that these big artists are doing. So I'm kind of like pretty clear on what I want to do, and I'm like just kind of being patient, but those 1 to 5 year goals are like pretty distant, you know. So it's
Right.
from right now, as far as like playing so many gigs at wherever I want to play, it's a step between there and having my own like brand and like
Right.
our own business where we're like pushing this and dropping music on our own label or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Well-
kind of like my outlook into everything is I'm trying to build a collective with these guys.
Right. Yeah, that's good that you already had the kind of like the practice of looking ahead. Because I feel like a lot of us kind of go through the motions or go, you know, day by day type shit, which is cool and it's totally fine. And I get it. You know, we all have depression. We all have anxiety. We all have shit. Right. But at the end of the day, like you're only as good as your last show. Right. So your last showcasing of what it is, of whatever the fuck you're trying to be, you're only as good as the last thing, you know? Which is why this podcast is super scary, because we do it every week, you know? If this week is bad and next week no one's going to check in, you know?
Oh, no, this one's gonna blow up.
No, this one's gonna be. I'm not talking about this one in particular, but like, but what I'm saying is just like it's scary because like artists, like music artists, they have a single every 3 months, if you're good,
Yeah.
and then you have an EP every 6 months, right?
Or an album every year.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Right, but even your EP turns into your album, right?
Yep,
so if you're having an EP every 3 months, then halfway through the year you have at least 1 or 2 new songs for your album, and like yeah, that's it's scary. I've talked to Foley. I've talked to all these artists who have 15 tracks as an album, and like. Using Foley as an example, his is a like 18 song album, but each song is completely different. So his is going from like tech house all the way down to like future bass, you know, type shit.
Oh, shout out Foley though.
No,
for real.
shout out fucking Foley. We love you, dude. we
shout
love you.
out
Big
Foley, baby.
inspiration right here.
Dude, no,
Seriously.
like literally, like I talked about Foley. I talk about Foley all the time.
No, like to
You
these
know,
guys, I'm
like-
like, Foley's such an inspiration, man. Like,
when I
what he's
met this
doing-
guy,
like you
when
were
I
saying,
first
like
met this fucking guy, we fucking talked about Foley. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how relevant he is and how big he is in our lives.
Right.
I think one of like the big inspirations for me, like you're saying, is like seeing Hispanics in the scene,
Right.
just popping off.
Yeah, just seeing someone who looks like you, right?
And
You
it's
know,
like this
Doesn't
guy is
look like me.
local, right around us.
I
and
mean,
he's killing
and
it.
also as a Hispanic, no one else is 6 foot, but you know, like, it's hard to look like you. You know, like there's not that many.
I call
And
Tommy's
like,
doppelganger.
But like for real though, like it's cool to see someone who looks like you or at least is from the same area as you, where you're just like, oh shit, like this dude did it and did it kind of quietly.
Oh.
For the most part, you know,
In
like,
an organic way.
right. So it doesn't seem forced. It doesn't feel like a gimmick. It doesn't feel like someone else is using this person in order to promote their shit, right? And like that's why I bring up Foley a lot because of that reason. For that reason of like him being like such a true just artist, a really good artist, and then being able to get picked up from labels from like Kyle Watson's and Gene Ferris and Lenny Kaiser and Dirty Bird, and like be able to play these festivals, be able to do all these things and like blah blah blah. Like that's such a cool fucking thing because he's true to himself
At the same time.
right.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's easy for us to be like we support that, we see what his vision is and all this shit, which is like what I try to tell the newer artists is just be like, hey dude, like you don't have to, just because Latin house is cool right now doesn't mean you need to do Latin house. Maybe do like Latin bass house, sure, you know, if that's more of your steez, you know, like do that. But if it's like don't just do something because it's cool. Don't just add horns to your fucking song because all of a sudden you think horns are cool. You know, it's just like, nah, dude, like do that because that resonates with you. And then when you play it, people are gonna be like, oh, I get him.
Yeah.
I get it, you know? Because they're
So your
gonna
own
everyone's
style,
out there
you know?
fucking Shazamming the next song, you know? And if they
course.
can't find it, and then they're like, who the fuck played this? And they find out it's you. Dude, you just found 10 new fucking people who are, you
And
know?
at the same time, like if you're creative, and I think a lot of people go through this, is like when you have an idea to create something and you don't act upon it, and then you see it like 6 months later, and you're like, why didn't I do that thing? It's not because you're just less creative. It's just because,
You're not
like we've been saying the whole time, it's all in the doing. Like,
Yeah.
it's all in like the getting up.
Taking the
The
steps.
10% will do it. The 10% will think of even doing it. So
Yeah.
like, that puts you in like such a small category of getting something accomplished and like
Yeah.
putting that out, and people will appreciate that.
That's
you know?
why the one thing I will say about like this platform and the podcast that we're doing, what I love about it really is a duo, right? Like, yes, I do the interview, but at the end of the day, Matt is the one who's editing everything.
Shout out, Matt.
Shout out Matt. Like,
Appreciate it.
he's the guy. He's the one who's editing everything. And like, I don't listen to the podcast. I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I do for clips.
conversation.
But no. I do for clips.
Yeah.
I don't do it. I don't sit there for an hour and a half
That's
listening to my
Bro,
own dumbass
I
voice.
listen to my mixes.
That's
So I
different.
know
That's
you
so
listen to your
different. That's so
podcast.
different. And that's so
I
different.
listen to my mixes at least 100, 200 times. Bro.
I'm my own biggest fan when it comes to music.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this,
Yeah,
to me,
He's on a separate account listening to it 200 times.
hey, whatever gets the
So many
views up, you
views,
know.
bro.
Yeah. But
All for me.
yeah, but no, but like for real, like the reason why like I truly don't go through like I think Matt, like the only one that I listened to was with the Olivia one, right?
Yeah.
When we were both like, we were like, what is she talking about?
Shout out to Olivia too. No, for real.
No, for real.
Like, a funny story about Olivia. I saw her on a Fisher's block party lineup.
Right. Yeah.
And that's one of the lineups that like I actually produced one of my last songs. It's called Record. It's on SoundCloud. If you want to listen to it.
Link
I
in
sent it out
description.
to everyone on that lineup. And from that lineup, I met Slushy, I met Olivia, I met Allison. I went to watch Honey Love, I went to watch Sosa, Fisher.
Right.
I wanted them to play the song so bad. And
Did it
actually, shout out to Allison. She was looking at my discography and she saw my Mac Dre remix
Okay.
that I have on SoundCloud. And she actually ended up playing that at the Fisher's block
shit.
party.
Hell
So that was
yeah.
like a really like satisfying moment for me as
Right.
an artist.
Hell yeah.
Just to get like something played at like a crazy festival or like a
Yeah.
crazy like.
It's a festival.
It was a
That's
festival,
what
I
it is. It's a
think.
festival.
Yeah.
It's a festival. Like if you have more than 2 stages, you're a festival, right?
Yeah, no. So that was really cool. Shout out to everyone that was on the lineup.
Yeah.
For the block party.
No, but that's fucking sick. And also, with that being said, right? You're super young. You're young. You're young as fuck. Like this, 23 in the music industry when you can only get into the clubs and bars 2 years ago. You're a baby. You're a baby. You know what I mean? But that's so fucking cool that like you have the opportunity in order to like feel comfortable to send people like, hey, can you like check this out? And like maybe it might work for your sound, you know?
And I'll warn people, like even these guys, like I push them because I'm like, we're still so new, like we've been saying, but like I want so much out of this, and I'm so
You and me both.
I'm so hungry for
He does.
it.
I love it. He does.
And like I just want the best for us, like,
Right.
and I
It's
wanna
crazy.
keep
It's
pushing that, I
crazy.
guess.
It's crazy to say that you guys are babies, but like I'm 26, you know?
Yeah.
So like everyone views me as like a child, like literally a child. And I know it. And I know I act like a child too.
You got a baby
But-
face.
Yeah. And also doesn't help that I look like I'm 12, but it's so ironic to me that I'm now calling other people like young in this game. And like now, especially coming from like hearing everyone else be like, "Oh, you're only 24." I'm like, "Oh, you're so cute." Like, you know, like only if you knew, you know, like, and it's just like, "Oh, dude, like what is it that I need to know?" You know, like, and like now I'm finally in a position where it's just like, "Oh, now these older heads are asking me for help." And that's not a shot at the older people, but that's just like a
Know your platform. They know what you got.
Exactly.
They know what you can do. you
Right.
know?
There's levels to this shit. Man.
It feels good, doesn't
let's
it?
Not,
You're like,
let's not
yeah.
act like there's
I never
not
thought I'd
hey,
be
hey,
fucking
hey,
communicating with
Oh,
someone like
every day
4
I
years
think
younger
about
than
it.
me, you know?
Every day I think about it, I'm like, dude, I'm too hip hop for this EDM shit. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, dude, me and Matt fucking built this shit, dude. Fuck all you guys, dude. At the end of the day, like, dude, if you guys wanted to do this shit, do it. If you know, but you're not gonna do it.
number.
But you're not gonna do it because you're not gonna put yourself out there. I'm willing to put myself out there because yes, maybe I'm young and dumb, but at the end of the day, I know enough to teach others, but also I know myself to know that I don't know everything. So I'm able to have these conversations while learning and then still able to relate some new information to other people.
If we had conversations where we couldn't learn, how fucking boring would that be?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Like it's all about like hearing your perspective and like comparing that to mine, I guess, and seeing like how are we different? How can we compare? Like how can we relate? You know,
Right,
It's like
right.
how can we like grow at the same time? When
Right.
it comes down to
Because my thing that I hate genuinely is in the music industry, we're all at a buffet, but you're mad that his plate is bigger than yours, but we're all on the same line.
Yeah.
You could have picked the same fucking food, but you didn't because of the lack of asking or the lack of just grabbing.
or because
You know?
you're just not hungry enough.
Damn. Retweet.
Dude, right? Yeah.
I like that. I like
Dude,
that.
Hey, you can see this exclusively on YouTube because holy shit, dude, that was a bar. But like for real though, but like for real, and it's just like, dude, like it gets annoying after a fact when you're talking to these older people who've been in the game for 10 years, but they're in the same spot, and it's just like, don't be mad at me because all of a sudden,
What's your fault?
Exactly. Like,
know?
you
It's just
can't get mad at me because you've eaten before and I'm eating now. you
right?
know?
And it's like, and
you can't just say like, oh, I've done that before. It's not about that. It's about like, what are we doing right now?
right,
know?
right, yeah, and it's just like I don't know,
Unless
it's-
you're a legend, then all odds off.
but even then,
Doesn't
even if
matter.
even if you're a legend,
There's
you're
still
hating on the
standard.
younger,
There's
the
still
young.
fucking standard.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's just
if
like, if
you're
you're-
hating, that's a different story.
You know what I-
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's fucking haters out there who watch it. There's 200 plus viewers on each episode.
But they're
so
watching
I
it,
see you
though.
watching,
Exactly.
but like, you know, it's just like,
like
dude,
half
like,
of
what the
those.
fuck? Like, why are you hating on something when you physically are watching someone try? You know, it's just like, yeah, we're not gonna make every fucking penalty kick. Yeah, we're not gonna make every shot, but we're trying. You know, we're like,
We're doing something.
right, you know, so it's just like, and I don't know, I just yeah, sometimes I get in my own head where I'm just like, dude, no, fuck this shit. Like, fuck you guys. Like, we're trying, we're doing this shit. You know, Matt's putting in the hours. I'm out here fucking constantly getting new guests like every week. And you know how hard it is to schedule? It's hard to get people on a lineup, you know, let alone to schedule to talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours, you know?
You know how hard it was to fucking come up here right now?
Like, it,
Fucking difficult, bro. We all had to
I was
take
ready.
fucking drink. Chill.
I was ready for this.
but like even still, even if like secretly you guys were in a group chat being like, I wonder what he's gonna ask me, blah blah blah. Like even if I'm not, I don't even care. But like even if,
How old
right?
am I? Fuck.
But like even if that's the case, at least you guys are aware to be like, oh, I need to be prepared for this.
We care
Regardless.
about it. Yeah,
That's what I'm
We
saying.
care about
100%,
everything we fucking
100%.
do. Everything we fucking do about this show at Noit. We care 100% about what the fuck we're gonna do.
Yeah, and once again,
Honestly.
everyone that's the 29th in San Jose, Noit nightclub.
April 29th.
Pull up,
nightclub.
pull up.
B3 right
there.
You can see the
Downtown
4 of
San Jose.
us
Let's get it.
and more. But yeah,
You're
no,
before us, right?
I'm on right before you guys, so
Yeah.
I'm on a 12 to 1.
Peak hour, let's go.
12 to 1.
Yeah, you're
12 to
right
1
before
or something
us.
like that. Yeah. So we out here. I honestly have been prepping a lot for that set in particular, especially because in San Jose, I have a lot of fun little like Latin house bass
love the
driven
club.
I love
Latin
how
house.
I put the genres to a point where like you don't know whether to go in between Latin house and
Or
deep
bass.
tech. Or
I'm
deep
doing my
house
sound.
and
Fucking
Latin
bass.
tech.
I just want the
But
people
I
to
just
know.
want everyone to do themselves,
Right.
like he's saying, like,
Right.
just to make us the best performance as you can, and just like fully just go out.
Well, in my head, I have a show next week or this week, I guess, on the 21st at
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne. So pull up. If you guys need guest lists, let me know. I'll guest list every single one of you guys. In
Hey, we'll pull up.
yeah,
Let's pull up.
that'd be fucking sick.
Wait, what day is it?
The 21st.
I'm down.
Alright.
It's a Friday, the Friday after
Ain't got
420.
shit to do.
But with that said, like I have a different set for that one comparative to what I have for San Jose.
Well, you're going back to back though.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
also I'm going back to back with someone who I've never gone back to back with, let alone never met.
That's,
that is
that
kinda-
takes a certain amount
Yeah,
of skill, you know,
it does,
because
it does.
you have to fucking pick up on like what they're gonna play,
Right.
what BPM they're gonna play, what key they're gonna play, like,
Right.
That honestly takes like a certain amount of skill to do that kind of.
And
thing.
it's
100%,
honestly
yeah.
like I really enjoy going back to back with someone because
Especially if it's open format and if you don't fucking
Right.
pre-record this shit.
because it keeps me on my toes.
Imagine
but also,
playing a pre-recorded set.
dude.
not me.
But no, like, but for real, like playing back to back with someone who you don't know, because I'm playing back to back with 888 Thieves on the 21st show.
Shout out.
That's dope.
Shout out to 888
Dope.
Thieves. You can
He's
good, he's
check
good.
that episode, episode 6 or something like that. But I know his style, I know his songs, and I know what I should play in order to.
So you studied.
Yeah, well, not even study. I had him on the podcast.
But
you
that's
know?
good, though.
Like he's the
That's
boy,
good.
you know.
Yeah.
So like I know what he's released, and I know what his sound is. So for me, I'm the B seat where I'm like I'm gonna play to you in order for you to play your edits because I'm not a producer. Right, but on the 29th, it's me,
Magic.
and yeah, and like literally, like we're both non-producers, and we just vibe, you know. So I'm just like, I'm gonna let her
I
take.
can't wait for that, dude.
It's gonna be so much fun. But like, I have some dope ass like edits,
Especially I
some
know
unreleased
you.
songs from them two, some
Noah is such
unreleases,
a
you know, just some like.
badass.
you
Oh, wait,
know.
what? Wait, I'm gonna pull up.
Hey, I'm just saying, like it's gonna be tight, you know. Hey, I'm just saying, there's gonna be a lot of unreleases. That's what me as a DJ, who I want to become, is someone who plays unreleased songs that like are coming out from my homies.
No one ever
I'm
like
playing his shit.
if you're a producer and a DJ,
Shadow
you
play.
will never understand like the feeling like of hearing a song, knowing it's an ID, and just like being like, "Fuck, I wish I could have that."
Exactly.
But like, you know, there's endless possibilities, and that's always possible. Like, we ended up getting a VIP from Dom Dalla himself just by emailing him for one of our shows.
Dude, it will never fucking hurt you to ask.
It's all
right?
in the doing. Just try it.
It's all about the doing and the asking, right? You'll never know where you are unless you ask, right?
Yep.
You can go all the way east, right? And until you ask someone and stop and be like, what city am I at? People aren't gonna, like, you're not gonna know. And that's the same thing.
I have a story about, like, we were talking about Dom Dalla.
Right.
One time we were at Real Ignorance event, and then we had Black V-neck, and I was drunk, and I was like, hey, do you guys want to come meet at this place after? And they were like, yeah, we'll come. In my head, I'm like, yeah, they're saying, yeah, they're not going to come, right? I pull up to the restaurant, and behind me is Black V-neck. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude, it would, like, for me as a DJ, it feels special. I'm like,
Just
they
seeing
took
that,
me into account.
Right.
They're here. It's crazy. It inspires you, and
Right.
you're like, damn,
Well, also,
cool.
it like
Regular people.
It puts you in their shoes too.
Like I'll bring two examples, right? The first time I met Foley, when I met him, I was like, holy shit,
Starstruck.
who is this guy, right? And then next thing you know, like I'm at an after hours with someone like Lee Reynolds, right? Who has 24,000 followers on Instagram, who blah, 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 but he's at the same after hours with me. And like we're doing the same stuff. And like it's like, oh shit, like you're just a person who still just wants to be a part of something, right?
yeah.
Regardless of the size of it, whether it's you playing at Public Works, 1015, Halcyon, Temple, or wherever, right? It's the same idea of like, oh shit, like these are my people. Right. And like at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for, is just like a crew of fucking humans who kind of understand us a little bit, you know, where we're like, this is my dream. And then people aren't like, okay, like, you know, people are like, oh, okay. Like that's tight, you know, like there's a difference. And getting that is so fucking sick. And like, it's hard to really get at the end of the day.
If you don't do anything about it, you're not gonna get that motivation.
Right. And
We're
it's
here right now. We're at this fucking podcast, you know?
yeah. And like that's my thing. And like I think I mentioned this off the podcast last week, where I'm like, I really enjoy giving people their first like interviews. Like this is your guys' first interviews, right?
Definitely, no.
Like you know what I mean?
100%.
Like
Yeah.
that to me is so fucking tight, because you guys are gonna look back at it and be like, oh shit, I did that.
Fucking
When you guys
you
are
grew from it, you know?
right,
Like,
you know, like,
yeah.
and that to me is so fucking tight and so much more impactful and important than me being the sixth person to be like, oh, okay, you proved yourself. I can believe in you now. And it's like, no, that's weak. Like, nah, let's do this when we're doing it.
And thank you for that, though. Thank you for that.
No,
Thank you.
I appreciate you
Thanks
guys
a lot.
coming out.
Yeah.
And like I said, like
Love being
even
here,
in the
bro.
group chat, right?
Never
I was
thought I
like,
would have been here ever since I started watching your show.
and I appreciate, and you said that earlier when you're like, I've watched every single episode, and I appreciate that so much. Every single
It's
viewer,
so fucking
every
weird
single
that
person.
I'm here right now.
It's-
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, dude, no, but for real.
Wait.
But like,
This is a dream for him.
yeah.
No, dude, for real.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
but that's fucking sick, and that's why we do this, why I do this. Like, it's for real. Like the first time we're like, I don't know. We can have these conversations at after hours all the time, and we can be like, oh, fuck this DJ, fuck this guy, fuck this promoter, fuck this club, blah blah blah, and all this shit. And like, yes, that's cool, and like it happens, and it's always going to happen. But at the end of the day, when we're like, no, but this is who I am, and this is who I want to be showcased, is the cool part of everything, right?
Definitely. Like, I even told these guys before, like, coming here is like, just
Big.
like, it's just like, I don't know.
solidifies a little bit, right? It solidifies, it cements
Sorry.
you
It means
in
that
a
we're into this shit. You know, it means that we're in this 100%. You know,
yeah.
it means
and
that.
Well, my thing that I tell people after the fact is just like, hey, just remember your words are what you stand on.
Yeah.
It's not just the fucking beat that you fucking put out.
Fucking recorded. So whatever the fuck you said.
It's just like you gotta live with it,
standing on it,
and especially if this is the first thing that you did, people are gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like, okay,
Yeah.
like who is this person? Why is this person the way that they are? You know, and that's super important because I think without a real foundation underneath you, there's nothing to build on.
Yeah.
Right. So you can be the best bedroom DJ ever. I have 25 plus mixes on SoundCloud that I put on private recently because I'm just like, well,
Because we're all bedroom DJs.
We are all
In the end of the
Yeah.
day,
honestly.
but it's
too.
like it's a matter of like coming here.
Even if it wasn't
And-
for people and shit, it's for us. You know, we did those fucking mixes because
Yeah.
that's how we feel about our music.
And at the same time as we're so passionate about our music, we want others to see that. And
Right.
like we come here today to like meet you and have a great conversation with you. And this isn't anything scripted. This is just genuine, like
Right.
that we actually have a great connection, you know? So
That
like,
makes it special. Huh?
it
Hold on,
really
I don't
makes
know
it
what to
like
say next. Hold on.
special and like just, you know, meant to be.
No, yeah,
Bro, it
exactly.
is.
And like, I wish that I had an opportunity when I was 23 to be able to go on somewhere and be like, hey, this is actually who I am, and like this is what I can do, and like this is who I believe,
This is
like, you know,
100%,
I am.
yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, there wasn't that opportunity.
I'm grateful
What-
for it.
Thank
But
you.
for us, there
I
is.
know, but
No,
bro,
and like,
George,
no.
thank you.
Hey, George,
Yeah. But
Because
at
we
the
don't
end
have
of the
any
day,
more drinks.
We're empty over here. We're empty over here, bro.
But no, but like at the end of the day, it's like it. I don't even know. It's just like I love the fact that there's an avenue now for you guys as artists, as individuals, to be like, hey, actually, like now that I say it out loud, maybe I am just the promoter. Maybe I am just a producer. Maybe I am just the DJ, you know? And like, that's cool. I said this last week with Sandra, and I was just like, and Way, I was just like, oh, like, I think I found what I'm good at, you know? Like, where my role is in this culture that is EDM or is whatever
The
the
music
fuck.
business.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, okay, like I can give a platform to someone while also allowing myself to like
To enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really cool. But that's the same feeling that I got when I first DJ'd, where I'm like, these aren't my songs, but these are my feelings.
Yes.
You know, this is how I feel, and this is how I want to feel when I'm if I was on the dance floor.
That's why I got into music production. Honestly, a little bit about me is I got sick of DJing everyone else's songs, and I just wanted to DJ my own songs.
Right.
And I think that's like what pretty much everyone feels when they get to that point of like, okay, I'm having a great time DJing other people's songs, but when am I gonna have my own thing?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to have my own thing. Honestly, I do. But I never get bored of playing other people's songs. There's just so much music out there.
There's so
There's
much
so
music.
many fucking DJs.
Crazy.
There's
Yeah.
so many vibes. There's just so many tracks that people haven't heard of.
There's like a
They gotta
study
put out there.
that's like over six,
And even if
maybe
you
like
didn't
6,000
even if you
songs
didn't
a
produce
day
that
don't go
track,
played.
as long as you put it out there, as long as you have some people hear about it, like that feels good too, you know? Like,
Right.
you're sponsoring someone. you're
Yeah,
promoting
even like, dude, like, not for nothing, like, dude, like, I'll, like, no matter what, like, me personally, I don't care how many people view these videos, but I care more about like who listens to my mixes. You know,
Seriously.
like at the end of the day, I want to be a real DJ. I want to be.
Yeah.
Whether that's where I'm good at or the best at is a different conversation, and that's for the consumer to dictate. But like on SoundCloud,
I'll
like
go first.
I'll
But what do you enjoy the most? Like in DJing, right? Or is that what you're trying to tell us?
I don't know. I
don't know?
don't know, dude. At this point,
I think
like
you're still trying to figure it out.
I am. I really am. And I think like what's my favorite part about this podcast is like every week I'll look at it and be like, oh, maybe I am just a promoter. Maybe I am just a podcaster. Maybe I am just a DJ. But
You're multiple things.
like as the weeks go on, I'm like, I think I am all three of these things.
And that's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
You know, something
Like I am Doug Dimmadome. I do have the big ass hat. You know what I mean? Like
something that stuck with me since I've been hearing your podcast is like you've been hanging out with all sorts of people. You've been hanging out with gangsters. You've been hanging out with skaters.
Yeah.
You've been hanging out with DJs. Like that's my life too. You know.
Yeah. That's sick.
really
Oh, dude,
stuck
that's
with
so
me, bro.
cool. Oh, dude,
It's
that's
good,
so
it's good.
like
You
it's
need
so
to hear
like honestly like it's so weird to like listen to someone say like, oh, I've heard you say this when I never talk to them. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's
Hey, but it feels
trippy
good.
as
It feels good,
fuck.
though.
I know you. Hey,
Matt's
bro.
laughing
I
over
know
there,
you
but,
100%.
like, dude, it's so fucking weird. It's so weird because like people have come up to me like at the clubs, at the bars, and be like, oh, you remember when you said this? And I was like, I never said that to you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, who are you? You know, like, but like, I
Only
need to
20
remember.
episodes in, and
Yeah, I need to remember that it's not. It's now become bigger than just me, right?
Yeah.
Which is so sick,
Yeah,
but
it's good.
also very fucking scary. I've said it since episode 1. I'm fucking socially awkward. I am. If it wasn't for all this alcohol, if it wasn't for all the homies who are here, right? Like once again, there's people behind the cameras, you
Yep.
know, like
Retweet.
Yeah, like
but he's also killing it. He's got great style.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And like, but yeah, it's like it's daunting. It's the same way that like when you put out a mix or you put out a song or you put out like or you just post something on Instagram, you're like hoping like, oh, I just hope I crack over 50 likes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like you're just like I just
Over
hope-
100 views.
Yeah. You know? Like, just like
yeah.
whatever the
Right?
fuck it is, you're just like, oh, dude, like, you're only as good as your last fucking drop. And it's just like, dude, like, we drop every single week alongside 2 clips, alongside like blah, blah, blah.
But I bet you don't even know how many episodes are actually at 100 views.
There's probably out of the 20 after this one that we have out, this one's definitely gonna crack over 200, and I guarantee it because people are gonna fucking enjoy the fuck out of this one.
We'll make sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying,
300.
all those last posts, all those last drops, all those last mixes, all those last YouTube videos that anyone is worrying about, just know it doesn't matter. In the end, you get over that goal, and then what do you feel like after? The same person.
Yeah.
And you
That's
feel
the
like
stupidest
trying to
part
break the
about
next
And, like,
grandma.
but my thing, me and you were talking about earlier, right? You listen to podcasts and you mentioned
course.
your mom's house, you mentioned other podcasts. But with that said, like, I'm sure Tom and his wife Christina are both like, if we don't hit 100K, this episode was a dud. Right? They're at that point. They've been doing it for 10 years. Right? I haven't felt like I've been in the industry until 2 years ago. But I've been doing it for 6 years.
Hey, I
5
just
years.
wanna-
At the
I
same
just want to jump off of that. Like, I've been doing mixes since 2017, right? None of my mixes have gone over 300 views, right?
Right.
I just literally fucking posted a fucking mix on DNA Radio. It's
guy's going off.
about 1,000 views. It's
got
number
over 1,000
one.
views.
It's
Pull
number
up, pull
one
up,
on
that's
DNA
right.
Radio.
Pull up.
Like,
But okay. With that said,
That's right.
with that said, aren't you now comparing every new mix to that last
yeah.
mix?
Yeah.
And that's my point,
yeah,
right?
like,
That's my point.
Is my sound supposed to be like that? Am I
That's my
supposed to
point.
base it off of that music?
Right. And like, as an
can
artist,
I
Comparison is the
venture
thief of
off? Like,
joy.
you know, like,
Truly. Comparison is the thief of joy.
for sure.
You know.
But with that statement, right? If you're comparing yourself to yourself, like it gets tricky, right? When you're like,
if you're
oh,
comparing yourself to yourself, then that means you're just trying to do better for yourself, right?
Right.
If you know yourself and you know exactly where you're at and you know exactly like how much effort you put into this thing, then you can compare yourself all as much as you want.
Right.
Like if you have a great thing that's undoubtedly amazing every time someone listens to it or watches it, then sure, you can compare that to yourself. But if it's just a mix that you did great on, that's nothing to hold yourself accountable to, you know?
Yeah, because I have a mix. I have a mix that like literally, I call it lightning in a bottle. Like I don't think I will ever have a mix the same way of that last mix. It was just so fucking. It was above and beyond what I was
The
at that
algorithm's
moment.
crazy.
No, it has nothing to do with the
It's
algorithm.
like
It has
you're mixing
1,000
techniques.
It has 1,000% with like techniques, song choice,
Song selection, yes.
and everything
Oh, yeah.
else. It surpassed more than I was ready. If that makes sense. And
We're
like
not
it was,
expecting it,
yeah,
you
and it
know?
was like
But you did that.
You're expecting
for sure,
it to your
for sure.
usual.
I did that, but at the end of the day, like I'm still just like, who was that person that hour, right? And it was just like that person is gone, you know.
Sure.
So it's hard to replicate, but also just like you need to like dig within yourself in order to like bring that person back out.
Yeah, you need to like gauge where you were at that moment, like
Right.
you're saying, and where you're at now, and say, am I who I was then, or am I who I am now, and
Right.
what do I want to put out?
Right.
Because I think all of our mixing techniques change all the time. All the songs that we like specifically change all the time. You know, sometimes we want to headline, sometimes we want to open. It's just it's always adaptive, and I just think like you always got to stay adaptive to like the scene and everything, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
But anyways, what have you got going on?
Fucking not shit, dude. Next week we got another special guest, so stay tuned for that one.
We got some secrets in the vault.
I can't. I don't want to release who I have next.
Just say it and then edit it out.
Secret time.
Secret
Should we
time.
do secret time?
Dude, secret
Anyone
time.
have anything
Dude,
they want to
Hey,
get off their
we're
chest?
about to tell you guys who it is. Hold on one second.
You go first.
All right, go.
no, you go first.
Hey, you go first. What are we doing?
What's your
Hey,
secret? What's your
Fernie,
secret?
Fernie.
What's your
Okay,
secret?
What are we doing on
Secrets?
Friday? Napa, tell them what we're doing on
Oh,
Friday.
this Friday.
That's
all
yours.
It's
You're
probably
right,
not going to
too.
be
That's yours.
released until after Friday, but we're having an afters at the end up in SF 1 through 6 a.m.
Yes.
At the
All
end
right?
up.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
love
be
the end
fucking
up.
crazy.
It's fucking sick.
It's a good sound system too.
Put it up.
So you guys pull up, please.
Yeah.
I'm throwing down. It's a secret lineup. Can I say?
Yeah, go
All right,
ahead.
fuck
Isn't
it,
that
I'll-
exclusive? Right here,
like-
exclusive.
Hey, just to let you know, this is out next week Wednesday. So.
Oh, perfect.
Cool,
Yeah,
so
you can say whatever you want.
my fucking set could be trash, bro, but I'm fucking playing 145 to 245. Okay, so if you want to be there,
Let's
if
go.
you were there, wait, hold on. For past people, if you were there, thank you for being there. You know, I love you guys.
Yeah, it was really good.
Is in the
It was like
future.
one of the
If you were
first.
there.
It was one of the first events I ever hosted with DNA Radio. So DNA Radio, I bring DJs, like you said, from the community that maybe they're not, they don't have a fan base or anything like that. But I like to bring people because there's people that have talent, and there's people that love what they're doing and they're putting a lot of work. So I bring people to DNA Radio. Fernie, he's gonna come on.
Of course.
Fernie has come on. He's in the lineup. Nobody knows he's gonna be in the lineup on Friday.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
Wait, what?
Slush.
That's a secret.
If you're
But-
seeing this, it's already happening.
Yeah. That's
Next
fucking
Fri-
sick.
next-
Dude,
next
no,
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's-
and then next one you can come on too. Like
No, I'd be happy to.
I don't do like things to be popular. I do it because people put in the work and they love what they're doing. That's
Right.
like the most thing. That's the thing that I most love, is that people put in their best effort when they love what they're doing.
Right.
100%.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
sick. Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. I'm excited to hear
Come to
What?
afters, George.
what you guys have cooking. But-
These guys are afters in about a week, so if you
Friday.
see this, that'll already be out. But I got a little bit of secret time. I'll be performing at the Midway for Biscuits. May 7th.
Let's
Let's fucking get it. I want everyone to show up there.
Let's go.
We'll be on the patio in the Midway. I mean, I'm sure many of you know how great that venue is. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that one. Preparing a great set, working on some IDs, and yeah, pull up.
Hell yeah, dude. No, the midway is fucking sick, especially the patio. I've only played the patio. I opened up for the sponges, and that was fucking so sick. It was, honestly, it's been really, I haven't really like stopped and like thought about all the things that I've done, except for when I talk to artists individually on this podcast. And there's been a couple times when they were like, dude, you're the first person who like put me on a lineup, and you were the one who DM'd me and like were the person who actually like hit me up for it. Yeah. And I'm like,
shout those guys out, dude.
I know how weird it is. Like, not many people expect to like get hit up by someone offering money to perform on a lineup.
Yeah.
I know for some people that might be odd, but like when I reach out, it's genuine, you know, it's going to be a real thing. So
yeah.
I'm so glad
like, dude,
you accepted
you're
it.
Super young.
Like,
you're super young. So, and from what the experience that you've had so far, you will grow from these experiences because like myself, like I started when I was 21. I was 21, like fresh. Mm-hmm. And I started DJing in SF and blah, blah, blah. And like no one knew who I was. Now, like there's people who know who I am, and like whether they want to admit it or not, like I am helping. I'm not saying that I'm a gatekeeper at all, but I am helping in some way. And like that's super tight to be a part of, but also it's hard to maintain, if that makes sense, because
definitely,
you know, you're just constantly
a lot
like
of emotions and energy put towards everything.
It's more so emotions than anything. I'm a very
we can say sensitive.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm a very sensitive.
I'm a sensitive person as well.
I'm a very sensitive person who like takes everything to heart, you know, and like I'm like, well, if I asked you, it wasn't because I knew you would sell tickets. It's because I actually like you as a human. I actually
kind of wanted you to do it.
Right. You know, and it's more so than just like, oh, dude, you're a cool DJ. You can promote. You can do all this shit. It's like, no, but like.
Fuck that.
Dude, that's special though, because probably 90% of the people that get you, they don't do it because they like you. I just want to say that. Like nowadays, you guys are doing it right. And that's special because not a lot of people do that. People do it because they want to sell tickets.
Yeah,
but you guys do it.
They don't know who they're booking.
Oh yeah, true.
And then
they're booking a name, not a person.
Trust me, multiple times me and Idnas have pulled up to venues in SF booked by randoms, and the gear is totally out of sync.
Oh, yeah.
The sound system is shit. There's no one there. It's just like the craziest gigs. Sometimes we laugh about
Remember when
it
we went to
because we have to do technical like difficulties on the spot just to make our sets go the way that we want them to. Right. So it's like, man. If you want to come support and see a great show,
end up's gonna
slide out April 29th.
Noit, hey, this is gonna be released before Noit.
Yeah,
Noit is gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
guys. You guys.
That's gonna be crazy. 100%. But with that said, do you guys want to give your guys' Instagrams or anything else like that?
Yeah. It's at Fernsure _ so FERNSURE _ You can find me.
Oh yeah.
I'm at Sounds by Napa, exactly how it's pronounced, NAPA. So, yep.
And mine is I am Idnas, so I am, and then IDNAS.
Hell yeah.
Again,
thank you.
Don't miss our show at Noit.
Yes, we're going back 3 back. Okay? Exactly.
That's going to be fucking exciting. I'm there from 12 to 1.
Did somebody say afters?
Exactly.
Afters. Hey, who's got the bag?
Afters.
Who said that? But yeah, you guys can find me at George.Daniel __, or you guys can also find all the Meraki stuff at Meraki.Bay Area. Make sure to follow all our sister crew out in Sacramento at Meraki events.sac or MerakiSac.events. And yeah, just make sure to follow everyone. We're all trying here, and hopefully this conversation has kind of like elevated a little bit that we're all trying.
Support us, please.
Yeah, and like, dude, like evereverone in this room is Hispanic, and that's so crazy to me. Like, you know, like, that, like we're out here, we're doing some shit.
What's our name? What's our name? Our trio name?
We can't come up with that right now.
On the spot? Yeah. on the spot, probably not. But
Tres amigos? No, nah, that's taken.
yeah, but just all the descriptions on our next events will be down below on the description. Make sure you guys follow everyone. Thank you guys again for coming out. I appreciate you guys.
I appreciate you so much, bro. This is amazing.
Yeah, thank
this
you.
is awesome, dude. No, this is sick. This is sick. I appreciate you guys.
Shout out to Matt. Shout out to George. We got Shadow Play behind the scenes. I got some whips in the works with him, and Luis is, his manager. So
Hell
show
yeah.
support.
Hell yeah. But I appreciate you guys. But outside of that, peace.
Peace.
Woohoo.